So, what did you see in the video? What was happening between people? Everyone was happy. People were really happy about things. What else? They were making friends. Mm-hmm. Making friends. What else? Yeah.
It just looked like it was genuine, like it wasn't like people had to be there. They like actually enjoyed the fact that they were volunteering and like making those genuine relationships.
Everybody was included.
Okay. So, with Bike First, People First language is this. You say, you remember that they're a person first. So, it's a person with a disability. So if it's a person with autism, a person with a hurt leg, a person with a broken arm, a person with overgrowth syndrome, all right? So you're putting that person first. So that's how we came up with the name Bike First. So we're following the people first wording. That is the correct way to do it. The people who come and volunteer have volunteered for most of them, I'd say at least 5 years, because once you come and you help, you get hooked. There is this feeling that you get, like I said, Cody learned to ride that first year. I could have kept working with him and not continued with Bike First. Nonetheless, it's too important, because now these kids are out there going on bike rides with their parents. They're going out by themselves. Cody will tell me, I'm going around the town, okay? And he has a cell phone, and so he knows how to work the contacts, but when he first got it, on the back of it, I just programmed it. Number 1 was home, 2 was mom's cell, etc., so that he can go out and about. And then I put a GPS tracker on it, so that I can find him if I needed to. So they're out and they're exploring, and bike riding is just a great way to include people. How many of you have ridden a bike? Okay. How many of you are serious bikers? So what happens as a volunteer and as a sponsor and as a parent is that you see what happens, the bonds that are created, and you start understanding why it's important for people to be included. If I had autism and I was put in a room with all of you guys and you guys all had autism, and some of you were screaming, and some of you were doing whatever you were doing, I would most likely start doing the same thing, okay? If I had autism and I was in a room with you guys, I could be cued to look what everybody else is doing. They're watching, they're seeing what's happening. So keep it in mind that if you're working with a person with disability on their nutrition, on their health, have them look and see what other people are doing when you are working with them. Show them how to move the leg, do the arm, be a model for them would be really important. So the people who are involved with Bike First, they go out and they spread acceptance of all people. It's been amazing because these kids have learned that it's not a scary thing for people to have a disability. Because like I said, we all have something. So they're learning to be more compassionate, to be more inclusive, to go up and talk to somebody, and to not have that fear. When I was growing up, it was those kids in that room. And I still remember Kenny, who was in my 4th grade classroom, who must have had cerebral palsy, and I remember him because there was only one. That was the only kid that I ever knew with a disability growing up, and I didn't even really know him. How many of you had people with disabilities in your elementary classes? Okay, a few of you. What about high school? Okay. Then what happens is a ripple effect. And so people start accepting, and they're talking, and you'll see what's happening. So Bike First is this year is June 23rd through the 27th. And it would be great if any of you want to come and join us. The volunteers volunteer every day in the mornings or every day in the afternoon, or they can do it all day. And it's really important for consistency so that they're bonding with those kids, and they always work with the same kid every day. And then if you can't volunteer, then another idea is, I know that you guys have to do, you have to do internships or something? So we've had Jenna Boyle. Did any of you been with Jenna before? Yeah, so she was our intern 1 year, and then the second year she ended up just helping, and then this year she's going to be our floor director, which will be really cool. So she will be the person who tells when it's time to move that person onto a two-wheel bike and watches the kids carefully. So, and then the other thing is just stopping by and seeing it and feeling the atmosphere. We always have a huge party on Friday where Original Joe's and Boomers, they provide a pulled pork barbecue for 100 people. And it's a huge ceremony. That's where you saw Kristen bowing up in the video. So some kids will come year after year, like Kristen. We've had 10 camps in 8 years. She has probably come to 7 of those camps because she learns to ride every year, but then her parents don't keep it up, so it doesn't get into her central nervous system. Some kids will learn on the second day, and then they'll just keep on riding. Other kids will learn by the end of the week. What we say that we're doing is we're teaching skills that are needed to learn how to ride a bike. So we're not teaching how to ride the bike. It's those little teeny pieces in between that we do. So what questions do you have about people with disabilities, about working with people with disabilities, about Bike First, about being a parent of somebody with a disability, or anything else? What have you learned? Tell your neighbor, what have you learned in this last half hour? Turn around and
I
talk.
remember seeing like first half, like it was an event last year, and it was like really cool and everything. But
What?
you okay?
Yeah.
Place in the regular cases because you get first and then they get observed and be what others.
I like the whole idea of that like they don't have a disability, then they're gonna just accept that they can function.
Oh yeah.
You can see me texting.
It was pretty funny. I tried to tell you, but you couldn't hear me. I was like, Katie.
You see me the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.